And how many for corporate type entrepreneurship? Anything over there? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do instead, because we have this sort of bimodal distribution, is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tables. 10 tables, which we're going to have 10 groups. In the corporate world, which is interesting, I teach entrepreneurship to corporate entrepreneurs. My job, actually, what I've done for 20-some years now, is I read the journal articles you create, and I turn them into commercial products and companies. Nobody in a company reads an entrepreneurship journal. So what I do is I do their homework for them, and then I sell it back to them. It's kind of a nice gig. I'll explain to you how that works. But the key thing is that I help corporate entrepreneurs understand what is entrepreneurship so they can actually pretend to be one while you guys are watching them to see if they in fact are one. It's kind of an interesting world we live in. So what I'm going to count you off by 10s, 1 through 10. So here's how this will work. Just think of this as the way the tables go. This is like a mess. So I'll have to figure out, Jenna, if we can get some help, if maybe move some of this stuff off the tables.
Yeah.
I'm going to count you off. This will be we'll start here. Table 1, 2, 3, 4, back there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All ready? So just count off. 10, 1. If he starts at 10, what's the next number? 9. 8. 6, 5, 4. 10. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, you're judges, so you can't. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you already counted. Over here. You already counted. So move to your table. Where's the ones? Where's table 1? Table 1. Table 2. Table 3. Table 4. Table 5. Table 6. Table 7. Table 8. 9. 10. I like how you started. That was very creative. So move to your table. Okay. Yeah, and it's great. Great. All right. Okay, now, everybody, isn't it fun when you ask your students to organize into groups and they cannot? What does that mean? Okay. Here's the interesting point about counting off. That was like the hardest thing you're going to do all day. Just pick a table. Come here. Here's the fun thing about counting people off in numbers. It doesn't matter. Just sit at a table. This proves a point about the need to be a converger as an academic. So you have at least 3 at this table here? Okay. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a temperature again, just for the audience here. How many people again said they like social entrepreneurship as sort of a key area that they were a part of? Okay. Kind of looks like either here or here. Okay, so we're identifying our coaches in terms of how the readers are going to work around with you. Okay. Now, by the way, who was it? Let's see, from last year, whose group actually won last year? Oh, Stuart Henry's group. So now you're with that team. Yeah, exactly. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get you organized to let go of what you know so that you can look at what might be possible. Okay? So here's your first question, everybody. Eyes up here. Table in the back. Okay, ready? Okay. What is this? Okay, that's the researcher answer. You've defined it, right? But what did Professor Mitchell talk about this morning? Defining it is not the same as explaining it. Okay? So it's a cup. Like, let that go. What else is it? It's a container. Congratulations, you know students in English. Okay. What else is it? What else is it? A cone. Truncated cone, yes. Oh, there you go, finally. We're going to telephone for children. It also is a vacation to the beach. Right? What else? You're like, oh, that was like drug testing required for Jeff. No. It's letting go of the reality of what you think it is categorically and deciding what it could be, because now we could test that theory, right? We could say, is this truly a vacation or is this truly a telephone game for kids? Then we could make a theory to operate it. We could make the hypothesis. We could go test it and say, do kids enjoy playing telephone with this device, right? But what else is this? You were sitting here, everyone's held one of these this morning when you had your coffee, and you simply want to hit a cup. But you have to let go of the cup. What else is it? A vessel for hydration. That'd be great. So it's a storage device. What else is it then? Could it not be a rain gauge? Now, I know you're professors, you want me to tell you the answers, but here's what we do, is you participate, you interact. So it could be a rain gauge. What else could it be? It could be a hat. It could be, yes. What else could it be? It could be at 1 o'clock in the morning at one of Alex's parties. It could be you can put your name on it. You can't get entry unless you've got your 1 million cups with you, right? You're one of 1 million. That's very good. It could be a membership device. Very good. What else is it? It's a musical instrument. A sound amplifier. Yes, I could do this using a megaphone. What else is it? Now you're going. What else is it? A urine collector? Seriously? I like that. I was thinking it could be a game for maybe take ping pong balls and throw it in the cup, but maybe it's a urination game. I don't know. Let your imaginations run wild. Okay. What else is it? Bug catcher. Okay, absolutely. It could also be a butterfly, right? It could be a craft for kids. Get some pipe cleaners and make a little animal. It could be an animal of any sort, right? You see, the thing is, what is this cup? The answer to that question is, it depends, right? And it depends on 3 basic parts of what we call a concept. So when you have an idea, before an idea can become an opportunity, it has to become a concept. And that aha moment has to be captured. And you've got to create what we call an intellectual asset. And you as an individual, I'm a big fan of Norris Kruger's work. It says, when you get an idea in your head, what is your intention to speak it? We did a piece of landmark research that showed that when you're in a brainstorming session, 50% of what you think about, you will not share with your group. 50%. And that's by professional creatives. Now, why do you suppose the 3 major factors in that research that correlate to almost 90% of the variability in the study, the 3 factors of why you won't share your research, your ideas when you have them, what do you suppose they are? Fear of looking stupid. It's your self-concept, right? Your fear of your personal brand might be erode if I say the following, like urination game, okay? That's a risk. Now, I always say that entrepreneurs don't take risks, we simply price them. I figured it was good for a cheap lab, it was worth the effort, okay? So first you're afraid of that, what that means about you. What's the second reason you suppose you don't share ideas? You don't want someone else to take the asset. That's what proves it. When you have an aha moment, it's an intellectual asset because you now see its value. You're now already trading the transaction in your head, and there's that inertia. What do you suppose is the third one? Is that because you're in a brainstorming group, if someone actually who's in a position of management actually likes the idea, you may be charged to go work on it, right? So those become the reasons. But here, what you're going to be doing is you're going to create a concept for a new paper. And you're going to do it by not doing what you already know. We're going to give you some stimulus by which you can use to solve what the concept needs to stand for. Here's an example. Again, we'll do this little simple. I always carry these around. What is this? It's a ballpoint pen. See, there is a point for the actual answer to a question. If I ask you what this is, it's a ballpoint pen. But now after that, it depends. What else is it? It's a weapon. anger management there, Stuart. That's pretty good. Anxious people just angry. Okay, that's just practice all over again. Okay. So what else is this thing? He said weapon. Yep, it's a weapon. So what else is it? What else? It's a pointer, right? That would need some drug testing there. It's a spaceship. I did get a student one that says it's an alternative, transportation device for an alien race. Right? That's weird. Okay. Great. But what else is this? It's a magic wand, right? Now that's imaginative. But here's the question that I really have. Now that's being fun and we're manipulating our brains and I'm glad you're playing along. And that's play, right? But let's get serious a moment. You say this is a pen, and you use one every day. It's only worth 99 cents, and you take it for granted. You put you on a desert island and say, go make me one of these, and you can't get off the island until you do. It doesn't do any good to cut your fingers, don't look at my finger with blood. No, I want the pen. You don't know how to make a little ball element in there, how to get the ink in there. I mean, we could be there forever, you'd never get off the island, because that's a skill and asset that we now take for granted. But the key question I have for you is, what does a pen do? What's its function? Communication device. Thank you very much. Usually say, I'm glad we got professors here because I get students who go, what do you mean? And I go, hey, this is the first wireless application ever created by humans. It's wireless, it's memory, it's only constrained by how much ink is in there to write with. And people look like, what are you talking about? Because if you think about it, you spend your whole life memorizing a bunch of stuff, and when someone says, what is this, you find the location in your brain that matches what that was told by somebody else, and you regurgitate it thinking, it's a pen. No, it's a communication device. But see, that's the challenge with opportunities, because sometimes we don't know what the opportunities are for. So the better way sometimes to do it is to say, what is the problem that solves? That's what researchers do. We look at problems, and we say, what problem does this solve? It solves a communication gap. And now that's why it is now a communication device. See, it doesn't become a communication device until you understand the problem that it solves. So let's move up the value chain. Let's say I have this pen, and every one of you has one of these, and they're 99 cents, and you're cost efficient, and you buy this pen. But now I want you to have a pen from my university with the Minnesota logo on it from the University of Minnesota. How do I get you to buy this pen? You're like, Jeff, none of us are here from Minnesota except my good friend Jenna. She's from Minnesota. She was born there. So she's the only market entry into that market because I'm not solving a problem for you. You don't have any spirit for my school, so I have no market. I can't even go global. Although I've been in 38 countries and have always found a graduate from the University of Minnesota somewhere in the world. So it's only relevant to my crowd. But now let's say I've invented, where's my tech entrepreneurs in the room? I've invented a gel ball pen. And this is $3.50. How do I get you to buy this? Well, you could say, well, it's pretty, or it's from Uniball, or it's a unique, innovative, breakthrough technology. No. What problem does this solve that this one can't? The idea will take any traction. So why do I need a gel pen? What problem does it solve? The funny part is, how many people like a gel pen better than a ballpoint pen? Okay, now here's the fun part. From your experience, why? Makes your handwriting look better. Actually, that's not the reason why they invented the gel pen. But that's a valid user experience, yes. Easier, in other words, it lowers hand fatigue and you can write more. Now see, that's the thing. Until you understand the experience as the user, the idea doesn't have value to the seller, right? So we're going to do that with this process. Because here's the great part about it is, there's anything, but the question should be, why should you? So what we're going to do is we're going to have some fun, and to do that, after last year, I invented for you, because everybody's so enamored with canvases, I thought, what the hell? Let's make a research paper canvas. Ta-da! Okay, there was supposed to be applause, but I guess not. Okay. Now, don't start yet, because this is going to be the end point, because at about 3:30 to 3:45, each table is going to pitch their best concept. So what this does is this distills your aha ideas into a concept for which the judges will be sitting up here, the sharks. They will have a score sheet that will have 3 different variables. I'll tell you before we pitch what those are. But you're going to pitch your idea for fame and fortune and prizes. Which team is going to win? Yeah. Usually students will just jump in and say they will win. You have no idea. You're all like, what's the criteria? Competency-based creation. Yes. fun part. This will be the last piece that we'll use. But to get started, here's what I want you to do. Just like we did with the cup and the pen, I want you to let go of what you know for just 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes as an entrepreneur researcher. And I want you to use your eyes to say, what could we discover that would be clever? Because we have to sometimes ask more and bigger and more clever questions. So what I did is I created for you a visual entrepreneur experience map. So at every table, if you don't have one of these, raise your hand. Jenna,
Yes.
we're missing these maps. Every person should have one.
Oh, every person.
Every person should have one. Every person should have one of these. If you do not have one of these sheets, just raise your hand until all the hands go down. We will really get this kicked off correctly. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a set of verbal instructions. And I realize as faculty who are armed with syllabi, this is going to be a challenge. Notice, Alex. What do you think? Oh, there we go. There we go. Again. Now.
Any extras, let me know. You have extras?
Okay, so let me explain what you're going to do.
Jenna, they need the other one.
Okay, members of the Academy. Here's what I want you to think about. Everybody, up here again now. Now listen. Because in order to foster interaction, you're going to have to talk to each other. This is not an interaction inside your head. We do sessions to help anybody, whether it's an entrepreneur, whether it's a technical person, or just students trying to understand the process to begin with. If you don't hear your voice, you won't be able to understand what everybody else is processing. So the nice part about any journey is understanding the map or the journey that it maps into. So instead of writing all the stages of entrepreneurship, I had my art team create little figures that represent from the beginning of the aha idea, all the stages, well, there are many stages, but a few, like 21, 20 stages or so, that entrepreneurs can go through. Now, if you look at the pictures, you can say, well, okay, so who talked about technology entrepreneurship? What was one of the things he talked about? Protecting IP. Notice the first one on there, a person reading a newspaper. What if that person was reading patents? Right? So you can interpret them any way you want. Your goal is, as you look at these little figures, is I want you to spend about 5 minutes by yourself first, writing down what you think that picture means to you. Now, they always say a picture is worth 1,000 words. But here's your chance to actually write a couple of what stage of entrepreneurship do you think this picture represents? Then as soon as you can do that, just one thought, one quick, just look at it and go, it's that. Don't try to analyze it, just react to it, right? Like you did the cup. Then when you've gone through all of that, then what I want you to do is I want you to talk to each other about what you see. And then notice what's really neat about it. You have a variety of sheets that are at your table with the San Diego State logo on it. Okay? These are part of just your compendium of everything entrepreneurship. There's one page on, it's called Research Methods. There's another one called Research Target, and another one called the Entrepreneurial Condition. You can go back, and one of the simplest things to do is to simply take a pen and do some by association, right? Just circle one topic from each page and just sort of smash it together and say, what do I have here, right? But here's the fun part about what you need to think about as you look at this particular map. Notice there are these boxes at the top. Every concept has 3 very important components to it. The first is its context, right? I just took some notes of what I thought was some of the entrepreneurial context I heard this morning. And in the context box, you can write down as a group, talk about what you heard. For example, the state of the entrepreneur, right? How does an entrepreneur behave? That's a context, entrepreneurial behavior. Or a context could be the venture. Does it start globally or does it start locally, right? The environment, what is the economic environment? Or the mode, is it a for-profit or is it a non-profit? Or is there a public policy position? See, every idea has to have an orientation. So is that cup a game? Is it a storage device? Or is it something you drink from for hydration, right? So you have to have a context. And every context will automatically go towards some consequence. So then between the consequence, you have a series of different things that go on in an economic system. One is the dynamics of the market, and the other one is the resources that one has to actually put the idea together. So here's what you do. After you've written on your experience map, and you've just got some little mind words, you don't need post-it notes, just write on the paper. Just write on the paper what you think the picture stands for. Then talk to your group, and then just take one person from here and take another person from here. Smash those two ideas together and go, wow, what could that be? Now here is where you start to add in some of your expertise that you already know and start to apply it to the conversation. Now, you may have an idea that you already love. Like if you really have a social entrepreneur idea that you really are starting to vibe on, well then raise your hand and have Professor Kickle come over and say, hey, give us some insight to this. Because after you've talked as a group, you should have 3 or 4 little seed ideas that start to emerge. And I can't tell you what they're going to be. I'll walk around and work with you, but they will start to emerge. They'll go, what are we supposed to do? You know what process. The story will reveal itself to you. Because if I were to say, it was a dark and stormy night, you're like, yeah. Well, you have entrepreneurs on a journey. Now, here's the funny part about it. We could say, if we have 2 of these sheets together, now we have a network. You can talk about when one entrepreneur meets another entrepreneur. Or maybe instead of having it be the person in the picture, you look at the pictures and say, these are all in a social entrepreneurial context. Or these are all not a person, but a venture. You interpret it any way you wish. But now as you start to talk, ideas will come up. And here's what you do. Stuart will say, well, I think I take IP poaching, and over here I see a picture like one guy talking to the other person, but he's ignoring it. Well, that's the manager, the CEO of a corporation. What about a CEO who doesn't foster IP protection? What does that mean? And now you go, well, I could add this and this, right? You start to build on each other's ideas, and what will happen is there'll be one to go, that's it. We got to figure this out. You convert it over here to the cloud. Your cloud is your little creative space where you put problem statements. And in that particular example is, what happens when a CEO doesn't appreciate or value IP protection? Question mark. And you write these little problem statements up in the bubble. And then after you've figured one of these out, the canvas starts down 2 paths. One is, what would it take to do the research? What data do you need to collect? What are the hypotheses we need to prove this? What are some of the resources we need to have? Where would we find these entrepreneurs? In other words, you're going to build a 1-minute pitch by simply taking the idea that you gravitate towards and process the language through the canvas. It's straightforward. As a matter of fact, if you want to know what to do, there's a question at the bottom of every box. It literally writes itself. Now, I've used this with corporate entrepreneurs, with PhDs at Honeywell, and they loved it because it said, it's not a finished paper, it's simply the concept of what could be a paper. Now, notice in the box, in the what's the big idea box, it says, what are some compelling title candidates? I will tell you, you're going to pitch an idea to the sharks, find a really cool, attention-grabbing title that's really fun and exciting. Okay? So you know what you're going to do? You're going to engage, you're going to think, you're going to laugh. I want to hear some laughter. Because we do know one thing, intention, we call it the concept of informed intent. If you look in your mind and say, the theory of intention says there are 2 main switches in your head that determine when you take action. Your perception of desirability and your perception of feasibility. And at that interface has to have this notion of lowering the hurdle of inertia that says, I can't, I'm afraid someone will ridicule. Just a safe place. And laughter, we've learned, is that laughter isn't important. You know, you see a lot of crazy, we have silly string and caffeine and all that music. It doesn't help make better ideas. It simply means that when you're laughing and having a good time, you're less likely to say no to yourself. Okay? So talk to each other. And if you say, I don't know, simply go back, look at the pictures, and I tell you, with scientists, we simply just circle 2 people at random and then interpret what it means. There's a paper idea. It's that easy. But we're going to give you now, it's about 2:45 exactly on time, I want you to work till about 3:15. We're gonna keep working with you. But here's what you're gonna do. You create that 1 minute. Figure out who's gonna be your spokesperson. What's gonna be the title of your paper? But you notice, all the sharks have got this thing too. So if you say, well, we haven't got time to understand what would be a critical milestone, maybe that's important to the study. Is it a 3-year study, a 10-year study, a 1 minute study? Because think about what they're gonna ask you. Because they're gonna get a chance to ask you a couple of questions. Stuart from Ranger, he knows exactly what's going on here. So maybe you want to ask him a little bit later on, what's the secret to pitching? He says just got to have the attitude, right? Like our students all think, if I wear my suit and tie and I just look confident, the judges will love me. Our judges are, we're serious. She's a serious judge. I'm telling you, you're ready for it. So you ready to go? You gonna have some fun with this? Yeah. Who's gonna win? You gotta be entrepreneurial. Just go. Right? So bring the laws away. Have some fun. Our mentors will come around. If you really get stuck, just raise your hand. Keep going. Okay, everybody. Stop, real quick. I just heard the death sentence. Okay? In Star Wars, how did Luke destroy the Death Star? He shot one shot down a vent that set up a chain reaction that got the whole thing going. You cannot create a paper all at once. It starts with just laying down your fear and go, what do we start? Like I said, start at the map, by yourself, first few minutes, process what each of these, you want to do it together and say, what does the first picture mean to you? And just talk it and all write it together. Do that. Pictures, and you'll start to see the connections. Use your information, use what you've learned this morning. Go, have some fun with child. Go on Star Trek. I need to keep that one. Ask them in the back if they've got it. I'm going to try to keep it.
By any chance, do you have some friends?
Yeah, here, grab that one right there. Oh, you need the big piece of paper? Yeah. The other one. Thank you. Reminders
at some point, what is always great is what if questions. So you're doing this, you know, what if the concept, do like an adjunct kind of thing to it, where it's like you got to close. It was being also, it was like, it was Stuart's group. Basically, David goes on the major town. How's that might go? Actually, spaceship calling the major town. In other words, it was basically ground control. You have the governance. It was like they just created what would be provocative at this time. What's the way?
That's how,
But the funny part about it is great white solution, which is therefore motivation. So I use it position. They use this. And so we've been using it now for almost a year.
hey, babe.
How do you see the idea of opportunity? That's what's the asset. What's the asset? How do I know? How do I know it's an asset?
Yes, it is.
So I moved
That's where I went to school. That's where I went to school.
Is it gonna glitch? What? No? It's fine.
I work
He's holding.
Yeah. Taking decisions. Say hi. Good. Okay, now you get it.
I have market sector. I mean, very specific.
My second one is
You. I know, isn't it?
My daughter. She actually did. She filmed a short film. How do we do that? I mean, it's almost like that's a